The Wolves of Naptown podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed here are not intended as factual information, and it's essential to do your own research. We respect cultural differences, personal choices, and beliefs, and although we do not intentionally try to offend, we understand that it's very possible we may do so. Remember, we are not revealing anything about ourselves. Our goal is to entertain. Please listen with caution and enjoy the show.
Listening to the Wolves of Naptown podcast with your hosts, Madam Boss Lady and Starship West.
All right. You know what time it is. It's time for a new episode of the Wolves of Naptown podcast. Let's go ahead and let's clap it up. Hey man, you know what I'm saying? We have a special one here for you today. We have a special one. Let's go ahead, man. Let's just get the regulars out the way here first. Ladies first, as always, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to my co-host, the Boss Lady.
What's up?
Madam Boss Lady in the house. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good. And for those of you who don't know, I am the one, King Petty himself. Yes. Starship West. Let's go ahead and clap it up for me. Right. You see it here, Rules of Naptown coming soon. Hey, we're going to plug it here.
Starting the petty
There we
area.
go. Hey, Rules of Naptown. Ain't nothing petty about that. We're just showcasing the merch.
I feel like
We're showcasing the merch. All right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got it on my chest, too.
Go.
There we go. Hey, man. We know, hey, just clap it up here for the merch.
And you know where to get it.
All right. So you see it right here. In fact, let's go ahead, man. Let's turn this up, man. Let's turn this up here, because I'm telling you right now, man, we have pretty much I don't even know what to say. It's pretty much like the version of Yoda here. You know what I'm saying? For the music scene. Like, for real. Yeah. Everybody, man, you name it. Everybody has mentioned this person's name and how they have influenced him. Today, in studio, we have Indianapolis super producer Billy Bad in the building.
Hey, what's up?
Billy Bad in the building.
Up,
how
y'all?
you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be here with y'all.
All right. Hey, man, we are happy to have you here. Hey, man, if you're watching this right now, you know you need to stay glued. Get whatever you got to do, you know what I'm saying? Get your drink, get whatever you got to get, you know what I'm saying? Legal or otherwise. And sit your ass down here right now, man, for this exclusive interview. You know, I'm going to clap it up one more time, man. How was that, Boss Lady, man?
That was excellent.
That, man,
You
thank
rolled out
you.
the red carpet.
I rolled out the red carpet. That's what I got to do, man. Let's go ahead, man. Let's fade this out here. All right, man. All right. Man, Billy Bad, man. Thank you for coming in, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, brother. And Boss Lady. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for having me.
Now, before we get into it here, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to go ahead and have, plenty of time and make sure that we are respecting your time as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, what other engagements you got after this, you know what I'm saying? But we want to make sure we get an opportunity to really get into it and really just kind of talk about your history, man. But before we get started, do we have anything that anybody want to just talk about here, you know what I'm saying, happen in your day?
Shout out to the Colts on that win in Berlin.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Colts on that win in Berlin.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ran the football.
We ran the football,
They
man.
should have done against the Steelers, running the football.
Hey, you know what I mean? When you got the MVP candidate back there, Jonathan Taylor, you make sure you get him the ball.
Dude's good, but he's not Peyton. He don't need to throw it 49 times a game.
That's true.
You got the best running back in the game, right behind you.
Don't throw those interceptions, Daniel Jones, man. You're this close to a payday. You're this close, man.
Yeah.
Just make sure you just hand the ball off.
Hand the ball. Good ball. He throws the ball good when he needs to. But
hey, man, we need to, but hey, man,
that's a stretch.
Give it to that young man, 28, man. Hand it off to him, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's go ahead, man. Let's get into it, man.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So there's so many there's so many questions that I have for you, you know what I'm saying, especially because, you know, some of my good friends, you know, people that I've grown up with, you know, in the music scene, you know, they swear by you, you know what I mean? They always mention your name when it comes down to influence, their breakthrough as far as reaching their next level as far as producer, man. They always mention your name here. So, sir, just to start off with, man, I want to talk about how did you get your start in music, man? Where did it all start for you?
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to do this like as time management wise as I can for y'all. but you know, for me, I guess it started in the womb because, you know, my mom said when she was carrying me, you know, that was the 60s, the 70s era, the Billie Holidays, the old stuff that, you know, the Motown, all of that. She said, I was never still. When they would sit and listen, you know, they were hippies. You know what I mean? So, you know, so I was, you know, I guess it started there because she said I just couldn't keep still when they would listen to music and play music. And, you know, from then, you know, as I got into middle school, around middle school, 7th grade, you know, there was a lot of bands that played around in the city, like live bands, you know what I mean? And, you know, living in the hood, that, you know, there were like Man-Child rehearsed all around the corner on Delaware, and then down the street on Park and Ruckle, between there was Freezing Fire, was another band, so there was just bands, and, you know, I was playing football, you know, all the time, because I was really good at that, too. But I fell in love with music, just the live bands. I just would stand in the window and just watch them play, you know. Then I'm like, wow, I like that. So
it's nothing like watching a live band.
Yeah, just watching them. Just, you know, they wouldn't let you in because we was kids, but, you know, I was fascinated by people playing live instruments, and it sounded like the record because, you know, they was doing cover tunes, learning cover records so they could perform in the clubs here, you know, the different clubs that had live entertainment back then. And the bass player, I kind of took a liking to the bass player, so I liked the bass. So, you know, we ended up being cool somehow. I slicked my way into rehearsal one day. I'll tell you how I did it real quick. so we, you know, they'd come out after they get done playing their songs, you know, and they'd come outside and they'd take a break. When they took breaks, some of them would smoke reefer, some of them would drink, you know, so the bass player, he'd come out and he had a fifth of Rose back then, wine, you know what I'm saying? Ricky Rose, real Ricky Rose.
Real Ricky Rose.
So Rose. So Rose, real Rose. So I seen he would drink, you know, okay, he comes out, they drink every time. So I was like, okay. So the liquor store was around the corner. I lived in the hood, around 29th and Ruckle. Liquor store was on 29th and Central, right around the corner. So back then, I'm me being slick, thinking, how can I get in and be closer to it? You know, winos on the corner, they give me a couple dollars, dog. You know what I'm saying? All right, hey dog, go get me a wine and get you one. So I get there, make that happen. So I'm around there at the corner at the place where they rehearse. I'm sitting there with my wine at how old was I? 14, 13, 14. I'm sitting there with a fifth of wine, but I hadn't opened it.
Like that too.
As soon as the bass player came out for break, I cracked it and took a swig of it. He's like, hey, little what you got there? You know, can I say, little nigga?
You got y'all.
Okay. Said, what you got there, little nigga?
We growing up in here.
He says, what you got there, little nigga? I'm like, fifth of wine, man. He said, give me that. So gave it to him. Next thing you know, I'm inside, sitting next to the bass amp.
That's right.
Because I done got cool with the bass player now. You know what I mean? So, you know, from that, you know, I asked him questions of what kind of bass is that, and you know, what kind of strings are you using, and you know, just and he, rest in peace, Carl Richardson. They called him Mange. He told me what to get as far as a bass. Another friend of mine sold me his bass for $15, and I took that bass to wood shop. I went to Mapleton Fall Creek, and I sanded that thing and painted and, you know, sanded. I put a whole lot into it, and you know, he told me everything, the kind of strings about it. So once I did that, I had me a bass. So I'd sit on the porch right there on Ruckle and just learn how to play bass lines to Rick James and, you know, different songs, Prince, and I just learned tunes like they did, but I didn't have a band.
Right.
That's kind of how I started. Then it went into a band, you know, a little neighborhood band, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, we were trying, we were young, 8th grade, you know, we were trying, we weren't that good, but just getting better. And from there, it went on to an even better band. Okay. And, that band, we got to play, remember the Zodiac? 38th and Emerson, right up here. It was 6 nights a week. I mean, The Deal, all kinds of bands would be in there. Like Indiana was like kind of like Dayton. There was just so many dope bands here, live bands, and they would play there 6 nights a week. Now us as kids, we were good enough to play in there once I got in that second band, and that's kind of where it picked up, right there. Just playing bass in a band, and from there, meeting Daryl Simmons, who was in Red Hot at the time before he started writing songs with Babyface and L.A. Reid and getting big. Now, he's the one I actually told about A Few Good Men once he was in the big position he's in now.
Now go ahead now. Before I do that, man, because we got star power here, man. Let me go ahead. Man, I'm gonna swap these glasses out here real quick, man, just so I can go ahead and feel like I'm a star too. You know, I'm gonna swap these glasses out too. Let's go, man. Do I look like a star now, man? I look like a star, man. I meant to do that, man, beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, man, cause I feel like I missed my calling, man. Because I really love music. You know what I mean? I really love music. And I don't know, man. I may get back into it just onto some, you know, hey, here's what it is. I got no, you know what I'm saying, delusions about, you know what I'm saying, making it big, man. I just kind of feel like I got to finish a story at some point in time. So I may get back in there. You know what I mean? But before we get really into the nuts and bolts, I mean, so was bass like your first instrument that you learned how to play?
Bass guitar was my first instrument. My grandma bought me a guitar, acoustic guitar, when I was little. It was just too big. I couldn't, my arms, I couldn't play it. You know what I mean? So, plus, acoustic guitars are really wide across, and the bass was super thin. You know what I mean? So, and it was only 4 strings. So the bass was really my very first instrument.
Okay. What all do you know how to play at this point?
I play bass. I play guitar too, some, and I play keys too. But I play what I write. I can't sit down and play "Ribbon in the Sky" or sit down in church and play nothing. You know what I mean? But I can play what I write. I know where to go. You know what I mean? As far as song structure and playing chords and songs, but I can't sit down and just kill it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and I may be
That's
jumping
not my
around.
gift.
I may be jumping around a little bit, man, but boss lady, I'm just into music, you know what I'm saying? I used to spend just days and nights just up, you know what I'm saying? I used to have a Rolling Phantom, right? So I had a Rolling Phantom and I had an MPC 2000 XL, you know what I mean? And so I'm either, you know what I'm saying, just either on the pads or really the keys. I really like doing the keys, like really even the drum, everything on the keys, man. And so whenever, you know what I'm saying, I'm talking to a producer, like a real deal producer, man, just always just kind of like, man, I just wonder how they do this, man. I wonder how they do that, man. So before we get into the Keith Sweat stuff, man, I really have to ask, man, when you're creating a song, right? You know, what comes first for you? You know what I'm saying? Are you like coming up with the lyrics to the song and then you let that influence like the track? Or are you like maybe like coming like with a drum program, man? Are you doing like a riff? Like what usually comes first, man, when you're crafting a song?
That's a good question because there's really no perfect formula to that. It's whatever comes to me first. Sometimes I'll get in the studio and I'll be going through some keyboard sounds and I'll hear a color that just like I have to build on this. Or sometimes I'll have a drum beat in my head that I just have to put that down and build from that. Sometimes I've just had 808 patterns that's like, you know what I'm saying, a bounce in my head. I got to put that bounce down. And I'll do that and build. You know, sometimes it'll be a guitar line or, you know, sometimes there'll be a melody in my head that I just can't forget and I'll just put that down and build around that. It's just, there's no certain formula. Sometimes I've had lyrics or a hook that just hit me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll keep that hook in my head and put the hook down and build colors and things around that. For me, there's no certain format to song creation. It comes how it comes.
Let me ask you this. Do you find any particular method like comes easier for you? You know what I mean? Because I would never start with the drum patterns because that for me was the most difficult part of making music. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? You know, with my limitations. But do you find that there's anything that, you know, like it's just easy for you? Like, you know that for the most part, this is how it usually goes.
For me, being a bass player, so the bass and the drums is always usually the body of the song or the beat or the track or whatever.
Right.
So for me, drums and bass usually come easiest for me because I come from that. And bass meaning 808 patterns, just low frequency bass line, which bass keyboard line. It just that seems to come.
Yeah, especially the basis for hip hop music.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
It just seems to come a little more easy for me.
Now you started as a hip hop producer, right?
Actually, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, before any R&B stuff and the Key Sweat stuff, the Few Good Men stuff, the Kiki Wyatt stuff. Before any R&B stuff. Dose of Soul, who I got signed to Def Jam out of Nap. I was a rap producer here first, so I was going through the crates with the DJs. You know what I'm saying? Because I really wasn't a player on the keys, so I knew how to find a keyboard sample and chop that up and put it on the pads and then put the bass and the drums and then put a melody around it. So
chopping samples are so much fun.
It
man.
is.
That is such fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I started out with the rap producing first. Back to Bump and Run and NAP and the OGs, which is I'm excited I'm working on a project, that legendary Naptown project I'm working on with some DJs and all the OG rappers first. Then maybe the youngins, I'll touch them next, but there's some other people working with them right now on something. So I want to focus on the OGs, the G Stacks, the Jimmy Max, the Prinny Mo's. Yeah.
Now let me ask you about that because I feel like there's like a resurgence of 90s rappers that are just really coming out and saying, hey, we're still here. Mm-hmm. Like you have Nas out here, what I'm saying? It really just comes to the forefront. Like, it's like he's, saying just recently won a Grammy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just offer something, and he's close to 50.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I think he probably is 50, you know what I mean?
He's 50, but...
do you feel like that, what I'm saying, people that are in their late 40s or 50 that have done hip-hop music and been successful, do you think there's still a lane for, the OGs, unks and aunties out here?
Of course there's a lane. That lane is called your fan base. Now, if will your music resonate with the YNs right now? Maybe not. At first, but, there's the thing with us as a culture, black culture, R&B, rap culture, that's why I still love LL and Public Enemy and these guys, they're putting out records. LL Cool J, he's in his 50s. It's like he caters to his fans. If there's somebody, NWA, when they put a record out, I don't think they care about, who else other than who wants it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got old groups on the rock and roll side. You got Mick Jagger on stage in a diaper, Depends. He's walking around with a cane, still doing it. But we write our OGs off because the little want to rap about the little that's on their narrative. But the OGs that rap, that paved the way, that so like they're supposed to just quit or fold because they're old now. So it's like I do hate that part of our culture as black music, to where we shun the OGs from still, because some of you still got something to say.
I think a part of it is us too as consumers. You know what I mean? Because it's like now we have the money, and it's like we'll go out and we'll go to your show. You know what I'm saying? And go and hear the whole hits and whatnot. Every boss lady was laughing at me. He's like, man, I ain't about to go here see these niggas. We'll do that. But, a lot of times, like, we're not aware of their new projects. They come out. It's like they just want to hear that old song that they heard when they was growing up, and it's just kind of like, what can we do to kind of get us back into it? Like, hey, they got new stuff. Because, Ice Cube is like still releasing albums like every 6 months. You're probably not even aware of that, right?
Because he's not with a label. He's not with a label. He's not with people that promote it. Like record labels, when you were signed to labels, you knew that they had projects coming out because they had promo budgets. They were signed to major labels. When that went away, and there's no more major labels, it's all self-promotion pretty much. So, like I've seen where Redman and Method Man did a show somewhere and nobody was there for him. Well, how did y'all push that? Did y'all say, hey, we're doing a show? There's so many ways to promote it yourself. Now, mind you might not have label money to push it down your throats like they do these songs now. You know, they just push it down your throat till eventually you like them. You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, there's still ways to, you know, and even smaller venues. I notice, you know, guys here, they bring Boosie, Webby, Project Pat, and Too Short. Every 3-4 months, one of them niggas is here. You know what I'm saying? They here. One of them same niggas is here. But they they'll sell out the Vogue or wherever they at.
And that's what I was going to say that about the Ice Cube thing. Where would I get that from? Where would I get that information?
Right. I mean, you know, I'm plugged in online, you know, and so I'll get that every now and then. But you make a great point, though. You know what I mean?
It's just kind of like me because I'm an Ice Cube fan.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
Now, did y'all know that Boyz II Men, Tony Braxton, and New Edition is coming here in February?
Yep.
That's put out there, right? I don't think any of them are signing major labels right now. So somebody's doing a good job.
I mean, you got to damn near stay plugged into social media nowadays.
Pretty
you know,
much.
and I guess that's the thing though, because it's like some of us our age, you know, aren't always on to it. You know what I mean?
They ain't on
it's
to
like,
it.
You know,
you're right.
You know, and so it's like if you're not doing that, and it's like it doesn't really make sense to like advertise like in newspapers and billboards and stuff and radio promotion, all that type of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, you know, how do, you know what I'm saying, us unks and aunties know that a great concert like that is out there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And, you know, you got to be plugged in, you know what I'm saying, online or something like that, you know? But I guess that's just kind of, I think that if we know that they're out there, that our OGs are actually actually still making music, you know what I'm saying, put it out there. I think that's the thing. We just got to make sure that we know that it's there to give us an opportunity to continue to support.
Because a lot of them still make music. You know, it's you know, that's what they love. They're going to keep doing it.
Damn near everybody in Wu-Tang Clan still make music, you know, and they almost all in their 50s, you know.
Yeah, but then it comes to a point where people ask me, well Bad, why you still doing music? You know, it's like, you know, because, you know, I've been in the game long enough where I've gotten really big royalty checks and really big advances, producer advances, and now that stream come along and all the royalty, you know, so it's like, why you still doing music, Bad? It don't pay like it did. It's like, for me, I just love to do music, and when I started doing it, I wasn't doing it for money. I did it because I loved it, and eventually that love and that passion turned into great income, you know what I'm saying, over my career. I have, but, you know, I just love doing it. I love it.
Man.
I still love it.
I want to go ahead, I want to clap it up for that, man. Because, you know, sometimes, man, it isn't always about the money. Obviously, you want to make the money. You want to make the money. But at the end of the day, man, it's about doing what you love, you know. I mean, I could sit here, you know, and go be a team leader, supervisor, or a CSL for somebody. You know what I mean? And make money. You make a lot of money. You know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? Would I be happy? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to dread, you know what I'm saying, going to work? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? At the very least, you know what I'm saying, I'd rather go out, you know what I'm saying, and just barely make it, you know, at least I'm doing something that I love, you know what I mean? You know, and then to be successful at it, you know what I'm saying, like this man right here, you know what I mean?
I've had my moments when music didn't pay the bills and didn't pay for this and that, and it's not as fun then, you know what I mean, because you become to rely upon it. You know what I'm saying? And when you rely on it and it doesn't take care of you, sometimes it ain't as fun. But at the end of the day, man, it's like this is what I'm born and bred to do this.
You get to really find out, you know what I'm saying, if you're really, really born to do something, man, when you're doing it even when it isn't giving you that money.
Then you lane switch. You get a job to support you while you're doing this. I've never been too proud to not do that. You know,
that's what I love. I love the fact that you're not too proud.
I've done that along the way. Before I got the deals, I had jobs.
I say it all the time. I ain't got no problem. You catch me at McDonald's, my business. Because if I got to clock in, I'm clocking in.
Hey, I still got a day job, man. Shoot, I still got to keep the bills.
Exactly, man.
Hey,
so I don't have no problem with it.
Shoot, I still got to get it, man. But let's go ahead, man. So, man, let's talk about the successes, though. You know, let's talk about the successes. So, this is the... You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to Billy Bad and people are like trying to give me just a synopsis, man, they bring up one name and one of our legends, man, Keith Sweat, right? You know what I mean? One of our legends, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man, because some of y'all watching this, man, y'all were born, you know what I'm saying, to some of that music, right? You know, to keep sweat. And some of the music that this man put together here, you know what I mean? All right. So, man, when you do, you know what I'm saying, when you do a search here, you know what I'm saying, on Billy Bad, the producer, right? You know what I'm saying? You come up here, the first couple things that come up here are your 2 Keith Sweat songs, right? Mm-hmm. All right. And so you've got Grind on You, right? And that's on the album Get Up On It here. That's on 1994. That's certified platinum. Yeah, see, there we go. Certified platinum.
Yeah, that's my first one.
There you go, man. And we're going to talk about that too. Okay. But I also want to go ahead. You've got the self-titled Keith Sweat album, right? It came out in 1996, Funky Dope Lovin'. Yeah. Now this has Gerald Levert and Aaron Hall on it. And you know what I'm saying? From the Rude Boys. Yep. Hey, I'm a big Guy fan. You know what I'm saying? So definitely Aaron Hall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're talking multi-platinum. Man, I think what, 4 or 5 times?
5 platinum.
Man, let's clap it up for that, man. Like I'm telling you, man, Billy Bad, man, has been platinum since platinum been platinum. You know what I mean? Hey, clap that shit up here again, for real.
The youngest, first nigga out the city to bring platinum to the hood.
Hey, man,
I took that.
I
took that.
There you go, man. Like nothing but seriously, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the first one, right? So Grind on You, that was your first platinum certification, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so talk about, man, first in the studio, like coming up with that song, like how did it go? Did you get a chance to actually like be in there with Keith Sweat, man, or how did that process go?
Well, the song started in the house on Boulevard, in the bedroom, and David and G. LeBeau, who's in the Rude Boys now, they sang the demo. We were just first it was you know, instead of Let That Lovin' Come Down, let's do it, love do baby, I wanna grind on you. The first was Take Them Panties Down, let's do it. so that was the original version, right? So we sent that to Keith, and he said, he comes back, I like that record, baby. I can't say take them panties down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right.
I can almost hear him say that too.
Yeah. I can't say take them panties down, man. You know what I'm saying? They could probably do it now, much as he drank. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, much love and respect to Keith Sweat. He's him and Usher's mama probably the 2 realest people I met in the music business along my way. I met a lot of people, but they're one of the 2 realest. But yeah, that record was just created. We were just sitting around doing what we do, is coming up with stuff. And Tony Leach, he helped write a couple things in that record with me. I just had the idea, and David and G sang the demo, sent it to Keith, and he loved it. I want that for my record, baby. So all right. Well, we did business. Keith handled business. You know, he did contractually handle the business with me. You know, sent me. Probably what he gave me. I think he might have given me like $15,000 producer fee. That's upfront money for that. You know, that's when the record money was good. You know, and
back in the '90s. You know what I mean?
That was good. That was my first one. I wasn't actually there for the recording of that one. I sent him everything, and he recorded himself.
How long did it take for that to go platinum and for you to actually receive, you know what I'm saying, your certification, you know what I'm saying, or get the plaque, should I say?
It took that record about close to a year before, you know, it peaks its sale usually. In a year, they look at it. Probably about a year for that. And the plaque, the label they just sent it to me. It's not the one. I want to get it revised because it doesn't have the big platinum in it, you know, record in it like, you know, the other ones I have. But the label just sent it to me because it went platinum. I didn't order it or.
That's dope, man. Because I remember us talking. I can't remember. Now, I think it was Devin, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Golder, you know what I'm saying, came in here and they was talking about how they, I guess maybe it's currently like they actually make you pay for that stuff now, you know what I mean?
The Twisted plaque, the $5 million now. That was like $600 and something. Yeah, they make you pay now. I'm missing plaques. I don't have any of my gold ones. I got all the platinums in there. It's kind of like that's all I want. I don't want the gold ones. Even though people are like, man, you should get those. Okay, well, I don't have,
That just broke my heart. It's like, damn, man, they make you pay for that. Like, pay for that. You got to pay for the stars and walk at man. Like, damn.
Make you pay for it.
That's a lot of money for a star.
Shit, man.
Yeah, they make you pay for it.
Man, you give the world a platinum song and like, damn, man, you got to pay for your own trophy.
I had to pay for that Nutty Professor.
Man?
I had to pay for that one.
Really?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay for that.
Man, hey, man, do better, man. Like, why you got to pay for that?
The music business is constantly shrinking.
My goodness.
The music business is constantly shrinking. You know what I mean? So there's 3 major labels now.
Yeah,
you know so,
I know. But everybody used to be just labels. People are making their own labels.
Independents, but they're not. There's only 3 major labels now.
Damn.
The money's different. That stream up everything. I'm telling y'all. So they make you pay for. I've had to pay for it. Well, the group from overseas that went double platinum over there. They sent me that one too. I didn't have to pay for that one.
Well, that's good, man. At least
number one, and
I would have to send I have to send everybody that worked on my album. Man. I was like, all right, man, let's go ahead, put it in the budget, man. Give them their plaques or something.
You would really
for real, man.
Yeah, they make you pay for them, bro.
Man, that's crazy, man. So let's talk about Funky Dope Lovin', man. Because again, you got Gerald Levert, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Aaron Hall. You know what I mean? So talk about that process. Were you able to be in the studio, you know what I'm saying, now? Or was that another one of those, kind of sending the track over?
I was there for the beginning, and then I had to come back. But that record started again on Boulevard, and I moved the studio to the living room. Different players this time: Demetrius Daniels, Meech Daniels, Peanut, Anthony Bush, Greg Tishner, and that was Dose of Soul. Stacey McCracken was in the group too. And I got them signed to Def.Jam. Dose of Soul was signed to Russell Simmons.
Man,
that was my second group. That was my second group with a major deal. I didn't have. First was Few Good Man.
Oh, really?
Greg,
okay.
So I got them signed, and we were in the living room just vibing. You know what I mean? So we just came up with a great record. I recorded it, and I sent it to, I think he was a manual officer or John Halcott, one of them two. They played it for Keith. And he loved it. He was like, "Yo, man." He called me. Then he called me again. He said, "Bad, what's that? Bad, it keeps winning, right?" Like, "Hey, what's up, my?" He flew me down. You know what I'm saying? Stayed at his house. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no bougie. Nobody gotta get back from the airport, baby. He picked me up himself. You know what I'm saying? He put me in no hotel. I stayed at his house. You know what I mean?
That's cool to know that he's that type of dude, man. You know what I'm saying? That's cool to know that, man.
Real dude.
You know what I mean? So, man, damn. So now went, like I said, probably 5 times platinum at this point, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, was that your most successful song at this point?
That was my most successful song that wasn't released as a single. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, right. Because I was just, like I said, I was just an album cut. What's the most successful song?
He wanted to put that out as a single because he had all them players on it.
Yeah, man.
He was mad.
That looks like a single.
That kind of what started the little bit of a rift between me and Keith. You know what I'm saying? And it was, some label politics. People that wrote the song with me, their manager was like, well, this, for whatever reason, Keith didn't put their name on the record. And, when I checked him about that, he's like, I know their names are on the record because you signed the contract with the production contract with my name and their names and their publishing names and their splits and everything. I don't know why I didn't put their name on the record, but then he kind of was salty when their manager went to Sylvia Rome, who was manager of the label. She just retired from Sony, I think, you know what I'm saying, and put a hold on it, and they never released it. And I'm like, I told you, I said, man, y'all know y'all fucked up the bag, right? So that single we got now, I got paid for the $5 million salary now. Don't get me wrong, just having a song on it. I recouped my whole publishing deal.
But having the single,
that
man,
would have doubled our money. And it's like, you go back to life and think about it. It's like, man, how did I get robbed on that one? Did everything right, and it's just goofy, man. Sometimes the music.
Sometimes they're controllable, so you can't control, man.
It's a weird place.
But I was just looking at that, so it's like, man, that looks like a single to me.
He would not have put all the people
like that.
West on that record if he didn't want to put it out.
Right.
Just like but what he said in the end of it, and it kind of like, it made sense. That's all right, Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got something else I'm finna do. And you know what else he did? Came out with LSG.
Yeah.
Him, Key Sweat, Gerald Levert, and Johnny Gill.
Yeah,
and they killed it. My body. They killed it anyway. So that just go to show. Yeah, that just go to show we was right there, and because of some that wasn't, out of my control, we got robbed out of that single money. But we got paid for being on a $5 million seller. Nobody here could say that. Not many people. So.
Hey, man, so we're going to clap it up for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody saying that, man. Ain't nobody saying that, man. Hey, man, Boss Lady, I still remember her name, man, when I was thinking about, my body, boy. My body, my body. I still remember that, boy.
He's very smart,
boy.
People got to realize Keith Sweat was... when I met Keith was a stockbroker, man, in Wall Street. When he's from Harlem. He's a Harlem. So he's New York, and he worked on the stock exchange.
That don't really even surprise me, though,
he's
man.
Very
he just kind of seems like a hustler,
with his money.
man.
He's very smart, but he's fair. That's what I love about Keith. He's fair, man. He was a real, and it hurt me that things went like they did because we actually were cool. We still cool. When he came here in 2023 or something, I was backstage with him and Tank and SWV and all of them and 112. I was hanging out with them back there, and he was.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
He was still cool with me.
I mean, because honestly, man, we getting, way too old, man, to be holding grudges.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Way too old. I mean, if you can get past it, let's get past it. You know what I mean? But definitely, it's bad to, hear about, any money lost, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, money. And the music business is built on relationships. So money and, the relationship went left a little bit.
Yeah, well, any kind of deal.
So, yeah.
It's built on relationship.
But yeah,
absolutely.
The Sweat stuff,
man. So let me go ahead, man. I want to go ahead and talk about your impact here, because I've said multiple times already. You know what I mean? There's been so many people, that are in the music industry, and especially those that make music, whether it's being a producer or even being a rapper, they say your name, whether, either you help them get to that next level, whether it's to get that deal or, talk to that right person, or whether it's just kind of just, the advice, as far as making music, inspiration or helping with a track, you know what I mean? So
teaching them how to make tracks, showing them how to use the machine.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you look back, what does it mean to you, man, to have all these different people kind of give you your flowers and, and receive that acknowledgement, the recognition, how does that feel to you?
It feels great to me that, people here, because it's hard here, bro.
Yes.
You know what everybody thinks about Naptown. I mean, famous people, what they say about Nap is we haters. And that's the word in the industry. I've been everywhere in this business. LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami. I've been all over.
And not just music industry, man. That's the sentiment, yeah.
And it's like we're known as the place of hating and haters. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for me to get, that here from people here, it feels good. It's rewarding, and it makes me feel like, I'm in a good place with people. But, I've gotten 2 groups out of Nap, major record deals. And the third one was on the way because there was a group called Risen I was producing in Atlanta. They were from Nap. All of them was from here. We moved down to Atlanta. I was already down there. And we did a bunch of shows down there. We got hated on in Atlanta, but the girls loved us. But we got a couple of executives was, wanted us, and then they would pull me to the side. Well, I want you as a producer, man. I love the group, and I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't cut like that. So we started shopping on the East Coast, and then Biggie Smalls and his partner Lance Rivera.
Really,
Biggie had just got his money to leave Bad Boy. Just did a deal with Sony, and they were going to sign us. We were talking with them about doing a deal, and he goes to Cali and gets killed. So that would have been my third group. But I got two groups, major deals out of here. One with LaFace, which was A Few Good Men, and Dose of Soul was Def Jam. Russell Simmons signed him. Actually, Andre Harrell signed us first at Uptown. And I wish we'd have stayed with Andre, because Andre had Guy, he had Jodeci, he had I'll Be Sure, he had Mary J. Blige, he knew R&B, he had Heavy D, he knew R&B, whereas Def Jam was more of a hip hop. But Andre and Russell were best friends, so they was jarring back and forth about, wanting to sign the group. And it was good because, they were like going back and forth and bidding. We actually signed with Andre first, then Russell spent a little more money and they ended up going with Russell, but that was it. I got those two guys group deals, and then almost with Risen, and myself, I got myself a publishing deal out of all the work I've been doing. It was worth $500,000, just out of Nap, So while we were here, so I recouped that $500,000 deal having a song on a $5 million seller. So now I'm earning for the rest of my life from.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on, before moving on from that, I just wanted to touch real quick because I think, man, that's an amazing story. So, Risen, you guys were actually really getting ready to sign with Biggie's label.
We were talking with them. They loved us. They loved our music, and we were waiting on paperwork, basically, because they saw us in a showcase. We drove to New York and performed for them, because Risen was like a Naptown B2K, but a little more nasty with the dance. I'm talking about Star Quest. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You feel me? So
Satisfaction.
Waylon was in the group. Waylon, Aaron DuPont's Waylon, Jason Hill, Jay Hill, and Ernie Jones. Rest in peace to EJ. But they were just like a B2K, same color, nice, cool looking guys. Everywhere we went, the girls were just, because Ponce used to be in A Few Good Men at first. Aaron used to be in A Few Good Men with David. So when Usher's mom tried to put A Few Good Men back together, and that didn't work out. And Aaron just, he was just doing his own thing. And we just built Risen because we knew guys here, and but they were a group that was like a B2K, but just Nap version. Nastier with the dancing.
Do you ever think about what would have happened, if Biggie, didn't have that happen to him, you know what I mean? And you actually made that deal happen, man. Do you ever think about that?
I think about it, man, but, some things you want to question God about things, but I don't. Sometimes I think he wants us to, but, I just don't. It's like, I wonder. There was a couple of things that happened, in my career where I'm like, wow, they were right there, and she stopped the show right before they went on. It's like, that was my group. The world never got to see them. Why, So it's like, I could question a bunch of things,
I got you. I got you.
It is, it's just things happen, and just like with the Funky Dope Lovin' single. That just happened, be like, wow, all that work, everything we did, and then at the end, the world never hears it.
It's like, good to get the background on that, because, when I was, re-remembering all that stuff, you know what I mean? Because, you remember the singles that came off of there. Yeah. And I'm just looking at that.
Every one of them was top 5 single.
Hey, man, that was a hot album.
Twisted.
And I'm just looking at that. I'm looking at where it is on the album. I'm looking at who's on the album. I'm thinking, oh, that's a single. Like, it has to be. I'm looking up, okay, man, what did this single do? And it was just like it was never released. I'm just like,
what artist do you know features people that are on the same caliber that you are, and then they never released a record?
That's a single. Like, that's a single. It's like, yeah. In those days, you're not putting that type of money to put all them together. They all getting paid.
They all getting paid. I said the first day, there was fruit baskets everywhere, and women, and this is Keith and Aaron and Gerald Levert, So,
hey, man. But still, 5 times. I don't know anybody here. Man. And maybe, maybe there's somebody, but I don't know nobody here got a 5 times.
Man,
got that, you know what I mean?
Well, not here now. Maybe now. I have to give flowers to my OG, Reggie Griffin, because I found out, because I was talking to somebody else, and they're like, man, I didn't know you did a record for Quincy Jones. Like, yeah, I mean, nobody else in Indiana can say they produced a record for Quincy Jones, who's a producer himself, who produced Thriller. Paid me to produce an artist on his label.
Did you have a chance to meet Quincy, man?
I didn't meet Quincy, but Quincy sent me a check. He loved my songs, and he put it out.
Hey, man,
But
I love
Reggie
getting Quincy
Griffin
Jacks, boy.
Yeah, man. You know, Reggie Griffin did a record with Quincy Jones, though. I have to say
Okay.
that. So somebody corrected me. Paul Thomas, OG, another producer. Here it is. Platinum. Say, hey,
Okay.
no, man, Reggie. So I think, okay. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, I don't brag on myself a lot, but I've worked with a lot of people in the game, man. A lot of people, you know. Teddy Riley had music of mine.
Teddy Riley, man. Hey,
Gino
that's what I said. I'm
Shelton
a
tried
guy
to say that
fan.
one day. Gino said, you know, you're our Teddy. He went on the radio, was talking about me one day. He said, Billy Bad is like our Teddy Riley. I'm like, wow, that's crazy to have that. I'm
That's
nowhere near
dope,
Teddy
man.
Riley. And then I'm nowhere near Teddy
To
Riley.
you probably, but to them, you probably
But
are.
yeah, I'm thankful that, you know, because I did such a different R&B and rap music, and, you know, I'm from that.
But you know, that brings me to my next question though, man, because, you know, we just got finished talking about all the respect. Everybody's giving you flowers, you know what I'm saying? Like David, even Gino Shelton, man, giving you flowers, man. But do you feel like that you are getting the respect that you deserve? Do you feel like, man, that maybe that, you know what I'm saying, for everything that you have done, man, all the people that you've worked with, do you feel that you're really getting the full flowers that you really deserve?
I do, because, you know, these are accomplishments and things that I did, you know, years ago, you know what I mean? And for people to still be like showing me love, you know, because of what I have done, how I have put on for the city, and whenever it was, it's still good. Like, you know, I was invited here recently to Maxie's album release party, and then Goldie P, he had his, and the young guy at the city, they just showed me so much love, man. Everybody there just
I'm happy to see
showed
that,
me so
yeah.
much love. I mean, Maxie, D. Golder, who I've worked with Devin Golder before on a bunch of stuff. You know, everybody just showed me so much love, man. You know what I mean? Everybody.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? All the rappers that were there. Reddy Rocky even told me, he's like, man, you haven't got your flowers, man. You know, I'm like I told him, I was like, man, there's a lot of cats ain't got their flowers from that. You know, like some people say, man, you the GOAT, man. I'm like, I'll take that, but to some people, he's the GOAT, or you're the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I'll take that, but, you know, to somebody else, you know, they might see another producer as the GOAT. You know what I mean? I'll take that. And I feel like I have. I'm thankful for people still acknowledging, because I'm still in the game. I'm still relevant. I'm still working on projects now.
That's all right.
And so it's like, you know, I'm thankful, and, you know, I don't really take it for granted that people, you know, bigging me up. It's cool. It's good to get that. But I do that for others too, though. You know, I do that for other people.
Yeah, we definitely heard about that. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you, like I'm saying, the more people that we interview, and more people I get into it, man, it's just like the more they keep talking about the process, man, I hear Billy Bad.
Right.
I heard Billy Bad, man. And so, I mean, I just want to know whether you felt like you got your flowers, man, because, you know, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. Like people are saying it, like, and that's the crazy thing. When you know, man, you got some respect, man. When you got other people, man, saying your name, like, hey, man, this person helped me out, man. If it wasn't for Billy Bad, I wouldn't have gotten here. If it wasn't for Billy Bad, you know what I'm saying? You know, so
here,
man,
especially now.
I know, right?
Especially now, like I said before, especially here, man.
we're gonna just clap that for real, man. Absolutely, man. Now, man, before we get off of the glory days, man, I wanted to just ask if you can share something with us, you know, the Wolves of Naptown audience, man. What's kind of like one of your wildest, most memorable stories, man? From either, you can pick just either from producing one of the greats, you know what I'm saying? You know, back in the day, you know, hanging out that, you know, group where we Keep Sweat, man, Kiki, you know what I'm saying, Jodeci, anything like that, or just maybe even something locally, man. Just what can you share with us, man? What, like your wildest moments here in the music industry?
Wow. Wildest moments?
Well, just give us something we'll remember.
Wow.
You know, and don't have to get anybody in trouble or anything. I ain't asking
Yes,
you.
yeah, I'm
you know
not
what I'm saying?
sure.
No,
Because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about that before I holler on it. You know what I mean?
Don't even worry about it. Just go throw it out there. No,
We can always edit it out. You know?
This wildest moment.
Beeping all day.
Wow, let me think, man. Wildest moment.
Right. I mean, anything like crazy happen while you in the studio, you know what I'm saying, coming up with something,
we
man.
just wouldn't believe.
You know what I mean?
Far-fetched.
Or maybe even performance, you know what I'm saying, wise, man, you know.
Wow. That kind of caught me off guard there.
Man, take your time, brother. Man, take your time, man.
The wildest thing.
Because obviously, man, you know what I'm saying, having that type of history, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You've seen something. You've seen something. It's just a matter of just.
I've seen a lot of things.
Which story you gonna let us?
I seen some.
Little something.
Yeah, I knew that puppy was real. But I can say that. You know what I mean? But you know, just the wildest thing.
Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily be wild. Let's say maybe even just memorable. Just like, hey, man, this is something like, hey, man, people should probably know this.
Or we would just laugh if we knew.
Yeah.
Or
the boss lady is like, hey, nah, I want that shit.
Wow. God, I've had so many things that was just on some weirdo, you know what I mean? Just some, like, how did that happen?
Oh, I'm pretty sure, man, especially in those days, man. You know, they didn't have social media. You know, so you didn't have cameras that could just capture everything right in the moment.
In
you
the
know
moment.
what I mean?
Everybody
There's probably a lot of people would have been caught up big time.
Wow, I'm really trying to think this through. Cause, like I said, I'm an OG and I smoked a lot of weed.
Okay,
Me
so
too.
let's switch it up a little. And what is your most what was the biggest bang in your career? Like, what was the highlight so far in your career? Like something that's
I like that.
Okay.
big.
I like
Well,
that.
You can just say, oh yeah, look at this.
I did a record on a group that was from the UK. They were signed to a label, and the manager is the same guy that put Jay-Z on in the game. So Jay-Z was on the record over there, and it was number 1 in 13 countries, and number 2 on another chart in 13 countries. Damn. So like to see my record like ahead of Beyonce and all these different people, you know, even though it was over there, it was that was pretty big.
What was the name of the record?
Check. I Want You For Myself.
Okay.
There were 3 white guys and one brother, but they all spoke like Billy. You know, they all spoke like that. Even the brother. You know what I mean? So
damn,
that record, you know, they didn't write anything. Me and a guy from Orlando named Dakari St. Amy, he wrote the record to one of my beats, and my publishing company placed that song actually. So they fly over from UK and we meet in New York at Quad Studios, the same studio that Tupac got shot in. So we were there, we did the record, they paid me $20,000 up front for a producer fee, and we did the record, and they paid for the mix of the record, and they paid for the mastering of the record. And after all that was done, they took me in a room and sat and we talked. He said, so Billy, we know that none of us have written anything for the record, but would you be willing to, you know, kind of split the pie a little bit here for, you know what I'm saying? In other words, like they wanted to know, was I willing to share, even though they hadn't done nothing to it. Now, I remember my days of sitting down with L.A. Reid and friends of mine that was close to him, and when L.A. would ask you a question, my was up under the table just tapping my foot like, Billy, don't say the wrong shit. Because I'm a tourist and I speak it. You know what I mean? Most of the time I don't hold it back.
So it's like, man, you want what? Man, you did what?
Yeah. So I said, oh, definitely. I'm willing to definitely break bread with you guys, man. You know, so by me giving them 20% of the record, even though they did nothing, not only did my song make their album, it was released as a single. See, so the politics is like,
So
we
you gotta
can't
play
eat
that.
off of you. Why would we put our all into you? We done gave you $20,000 up front.
Makes
We done
sense.
paid for the mix and the master, and we flew you to New York to do this. So are we gonna get anything back other than just our little artist royalty? So I'm like, I did the
That was
math. And I
smart.
thought about it. Okay, yeah. So I learned that.
That
I had
was
to learn
smart.
that. That's politics. That was a big
That
thing
was smart.
because
We gonna clap it up for that, man. Yeah, that was smart.
that's one
man.
of many.
Yeah.
I got some other stuff, man. I just have to really think of how to word it. Because if somebody see it, they'll be like, man, that talking about me, man. You talking about my mama, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, boss lady, tell you, man, I do that shit all the time, man. You know, I don't be saying nobody's name, man. I always be hitting it up, man. Were you talking about me? I'll be like, man, no, man. I'm just telling a story, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to push the podcast. We got to do something. Yeah, come out here with some content, man. But I like that, boss lady, man. That was really a good one. That was a good one, man.
Good way to put that.
That was really good.
Because I was kind of stumbling because I had some other stuff that I wanted to think about saying, but how to say it?
Oh, yeah,
without
for sure.
saying.
For
normally,
sure.
you just say it. You know what I'm
Just out
saying?
here being nosy and tell us up.
That's just the best way to put it, I guess. You know,
Oh my goodness, man! So, man, I want to talk about trench mode, man. But first, man, I want to ask you this here, man. So, I mean, when you look back at your career, right? You know, how would you like for your legacy to be remembered? You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, man, when they talk about, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Ward here, I don't know if you want people to know your full name here, but you know what I'm saying, Billy Bad.
Yeah, it's all
You know what I mean? What do you want people to say, to say about you, your legacy?
that he was a real one. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? My word was solid, and I tapped in and poured in to other people's lives, and a lot of times to exclude myself. Because with a few good men, it's like when the deal was done for them, there was a separate deal for me as a producer that the kids David and them didn't know much about. You know, these were youngins, man. The deal for them, of course, they're going to go. But for me, Max Siegel looked over the paperwork. Shout out to Max. He was my lawyer at the time. And he said, you'd be stupid to sign this. So I didn't sign it. So my part of that deal didn't go through, but theirs did. But their mama still woke up and seen them on TV with me, though. You feel me? So, you know, I didn't benefit much from that A Few Good Men LaFace deal at all because I refused to sign a 5-year exclusive agreement with no advance. But they got an $800,000 deal, no advance for the producer that found the n***s and sent them to you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do some kind of a little bit of something with me, you send me $1,200 finder's fee for sending you 3 pieces of a 5-man group with an $800,000 budget.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say his name because he's
Okay,
pretty
I'm
big
just
boy. LaFace Records,
Man.
you know what I'm saying?
You always hear about the
L.A.
shadiness of the
Babyface
music
and
business.
blank, and that nigga, he used to write with them. L.A. Babyface and blank. That, yeah, you.
Here.
See, I got some story now. I had to stop and think. Now y'all want me to, hey, yeah.
That's all I was looking
Yeah,
for.
that's
all you was looking for.
Yeah.
Just a little something, man.
I ain't signed it. So then he's like, Billy didn't sign. Have him come down for a meeting. So
You trying to fat this
yeah, I
chick?
get down there to the meeting, and
I mean, the music industry really seems just really very treacherous. You know what I mean? It's just like
cutthroat.
you got to make sure you read everything. You know, I mean, I had one contract, presented to me. You know what I'm saying, to make beats, man, for somebody local here. I won't say their name. And, and just reading through the whole thing, it was just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You want 33% of everything that I do. And, I just want to make beats, but if I go try and get get on a commercial or a movie deal, you want 33% of that, even though you didn't do nothing.
Was that a management contract?
I mean, it seems like it was like a management contract. I don't want to put their names and stuff out there.
That's too
I
much
don't want
for
to put their
that,
name
though.
out there. Yeah, I mean, I was
Management
reading
commission ain't 30%.
I was
it
reading
wasn't
all
back
this.
then, definitely.
You know, that's why we
But
didn't.
if you don't read, they're gonna screw you.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't sign it. But I was just like, damn, man, it's just like literally everything that I would have done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As the entity that I was calling myself at that point in time. It's like I was breaking bread with them. And I was just like, man, hell no, I'm not signing that. We did it for 3 years.
Yeah.
To them, it's like, man, that is just ridiculous. And I'm
Yeah.
just sitting up here thinking like, man, you hear it all the time, man. You heard it with TLC. You know what I'm saying? You heard it all the time with, the contracts that they signed, going on world tours, making all this revenue for other people
labels
other than
and the
themselves.
No money for themselves.
I did songs with TLC. David was singing the demos, and I was doing songs for them and everything. And it's like this sends me a contract, 5 years exclusive. And I wouldn't have minded the 5 years exclusivity because it's LaFace, it's Outkast, it's Usher, it's Pink, it's Tony Braxton, it's Goody Mob, it's A Few Good Men, it's Damian Dame. Rest in peace to both of them. But it was, I would have had a home. You feel me? But no advance. And mind you, at this point in my life, like I tell you about getting a job and having a jobby job along the way, I was working at the post office, making $40,000 in the '90s a year. Plus, I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I was hustling.
Just, hey, we don't talk about it. Everybody got
what I'm saying?
a little hustling every
I was
now
hustling.
and then.
I had a little hustle hand. Had a little hustle hand. But to leave that, to come to Atlanta, you couldn't even give me money to move, to relocate, to come here. So yeah, I didn't sign that, and it hurt. But 2 weeks later, I was on a plane back to Atlanta for the Key Sweat record, the first one. So it was like God had a ram in the bush for me. You know what I mean? It hurt, but you think David was gonna say as kids, well, man, if Billy don't go, we ain't doing it. You think these little was gonna do that as kids? And I wasn't mad at them.
Oh yeah, that's why I said I don't think you didn't seem like the type of person that would have wanted that either, man. You just kind of like go on ahead and run. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
And then in turn, you know what I'm saying, the wheels move.
But
you know what I'm
see
saying?
how
You got
David
your
on your
shit.
podcast how he had to mention that things didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Because God don't like that dirt, bro. God don't like ugly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't cut off the spearhead and just take this over here and expect it to do well. Especially when I did everything the right way. You feel me? D-Love lived with me. You know what I'm saying? When Meech Daniels, A Dose of Soul, he lived with me. Risen in Atlanta, it was 5 in an apartment, 2-bedroom. So, we doing shows and they bringing girls home and I'm stepping over girls and on the way to the kitchen to make some eggs. We was popping like that, but it's like, that's what it was.
Right, man.
And I like I said, I pour into other people. I've always had a vision to see something in its rawest form and give it sound, give it image, give it voice, give it color, and then I'd find somebody to give it choreography, give it. And I've always had that, gift to do that, and it paid off. It's paid off for me.
That's what's up.
Absolutely,
man. So
man.
now it's a little different. Nobody wants a deal. Everybody's a soloist. Everybody's just the same thing. That's why, for the first time in 40 years, no rap songs was in the top 40.
I know, man. I seen that,
saw that,
man.
The songs have no staying power. You know what I'm saying? It's like they have no staying power. And then this is the worst thing of it. You'll know the song and won't know the fucking artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be singing the song and you won't even know who it is. Of course,
I mean,
you know Breezy.
song like that. Yeah,
of course,
man,
you'll know Chris Brown. You'll hear Bryson Tiller. You'll know some of these. But then it's like you'll hear a song and not even know who it is.
I'll be surprised to find out. It's like, oh, damn, that's
And then 2 weeks later, the song's gone.
Yeah.
Here come another one. Microwave, like we sung, right? You feel me?
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, man. You can go down here.
I don't get that.
But I have to look at it because I'm still in the music game. Now, mind you, I'm doing some other things. I'm working on some TV film stuff. You know what I mean? This, Tommy Smalls. Shout out to Tommy Smalls and the Tainted movie that they shot here with local all Indiana artists, Indiana actors. I'm doing some music with that. Tony Cleveland was on a record I did called Project Baby. That, like, as soon as the movie comes on, there it is. And I'm just still just doing my thing, man. Just staying relevant.
That's what's up. Let's talk about some of the new stuff here, man. So, I mean, when I was go ahead and just getting some of the information here, man, you know what I'm saying, before your arrival, man, you know, you said that you wanted to go ahead and talk about Trench Mode, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, that's the production company, that's the label, man. Let's talk about Trench Mode, man. Tell me about this new venture.
You know, I've always, you know, I've never really like branded myself as a label. I've always been a producer, songwriter, and production company type thing. So, you know, with nowadays the way things is with the branding, it's like, you know, I listen to the little when he's like, oh, gee, you need to this, and you need to do that, because you know you could be selling your old beats online. You need to do a website, and you need to do this, and you know, I'm like I said, I'm mostly creative. I'm a homebody studio. I'm always in there, but I'm creating them not as much. I understand the flow of business and royalty and all how it goes, but I don't always sit on top of it and just monitor it. And it's like I don't have the, like even Shorty told me, you know, like he did the graphics. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I was peeping out there. I was peeping out the sweatshirt.
Yeah, he did the graphics, and Philip Barati did the hoodie for me, and there's another one of his friends, and you know, it's just they're like, man, you got to start branding yourself. You know, that's why you hear my tag in the beats now. That's bad. You'll hear that when it comes on. You know that they know that's me, and it's like you need to tag your beats and the stuff that little nigga do by default. And I'm just, you know, I'm not really can't say I'm late catching on, but
But you didn't have to do that back in the day. I'm like, you're not tagging a Keith Sweat song and stuff.
No,
yeah,
you didn't have
know?
to. But now it's like, you know, and it's necessary to like carve out your identity because there's so many people doing music and beats now. It's insane. And then you got AI helping to make beats. It's just a constant. I told you, it's constantly shrinking. You feel me? You know, I'm not against AI 100%, but there has to be some human element in it for me to embrace it. It's like
I want to talk to you about AI here in a little bit here, man. But yeah, so I mean, but what do you have? Do you have any projects or anything that's getting ready to come out here on Trench Mode?
A Trench Mode production. I'm doing. Well, you know, the Giddy's out, and A Few Good Men, and that I was just produced that, but that's not under my production company. That's I think D Love and Monte. Now that they're not with LBH management anymore, so I guess they're running that through theirs. And I got another record with them coming, like probably first of the year, Pressure Applied. And I'm doing that. I got a little R&B trap artist I work with, Louis Lewis, and he's like a Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller together kind of a artist. He can really dance, good looking little kid, you know, but has to have auto-tune for it to come across. And most of them like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working on him. And, you know, like I said, I'm doing some other projects. I have gospel artist Refocus. Plan to go back in with Stacy on the project with her, me and Ruben McCrae, another talented producer, writer that writes with me.
I mean, you got several genres, man. You getting ready to tap into.
And then again, like the movie stuff. I'm trying to work that out with Tommy to finish working on the music scoring for that. And then I just make beats to send to my friends that have deals in LA and different places that have record deals. You know, another friend of mine, Lucky, he's sending stuff to people that he knows that are looking for songs that have major deals and independent deals with budget. And like I said, the legendary Naptown project is I'm piecing that together because I really want to do that for the OGs, just to say we did it. I don't care who streams it or who buys it. For me, it's having the energy of a G Stack, Lil Nut, the Jimmy Max, the Dogs, all the OGs, the NAPs. You know what I'm saying? The Prentimos. You know what I'm saying? Even the Bump.
Yeah, I know. I think I seen you post about that too. Yeah.
DX, all the DJs that want to be part of it, and the OGs that rap, just having that energy, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I want to do. Just to see we fucking
talk about that project here for just a second here, man, because I seen you post about that. Like, hey, man, we're getting ready to come out with this, man. Like, what was your inspiration for that? This is like really just want to have a platform, just kind of like for the older school rappers, man, to really just get on something, put something out here, kind of show these young ones what's going on.
Just pop your shit still. You know what I mean? It's like, you still got something to say, in your prime and in the height of what you were doing, you was dope out here in the streets of Nap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had it. Y'all was doing y'all thing. I'm proud to have been a part of it. And, not to say that these youngins, because I've worked with all the youngins too. Name them. Zakiah Parker, Lil Billy, like I said, Debo, they all been in my studio. Mm-hmm. Everybody, I haven't worked with Lil E, but most of them youngins, man, Maxie, Tony Cleveland, most of the young ones have been around too. So like for me, going back to the OGs it means something because I'm part of their culture. Mm-hmm. We were all doing it together. We were just coming up, and none of us really had made it yet. But I'd heard of these guys. PG, Paul Green from back in the day was DJ Small. Got a bunch of DJ friends that are wanting to be part of it. So that brings all the culture, the DJs and the OG rappers together. And I just know these still got something to say. Mm-hmm. And it's not about streaming 1 million streams. It's just about just to say
putting something quality out there, and you did that, right?
We did this shit. We got together and we made a project, and we feel good about it, and y'all do what y'all want with it.
When can we expect that project to be out?
Right now we're in the baby stages. I'm really just I got Lil Barry from NAP, Lil Money. He's rounding people up. You know what I mean? Because everybody that I've spoke to about it, they all with it. So it's like I feel good about that, because a lot of these guys, life be lifing. So like you said, the is working, taking care of family, but they still can rap. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you want to be part of this, here's your invitation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Nobody's paying me for beats or any of that. It's just something I want to do. And hell, if y'all make beats, let's do it. I don't have to make all the beats. KF. A lot of people have reached out, want to be part of this, because I believe they want to touch and tap in with the OGs too, because a lot of them didn't get to work with the OGs when they were working. Like, me and Stack never got to work because going to catching cases and this and that. Yeah. You know how it is. So just to say I did it, and I just it's something I want to do.
I'm gonna be looking out for that, man.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Definitely gonna be looking out for that one.
We got to get everything lined up. We're gonna have a couple of meetings and lay out some groundwork, and then get it popping, man. Get it make something shape.
Absolutely. I want to go ahead, man, just clap it up, man. I want to be looking out for that project, man.
Legendary Naptown.
You know what I'm saying, man? And definitely one more time, man, for the legendary super producer, Really Bad.
And what's up, Nap City? Y'all know how we get it.
Oh, my goodness, man. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But we got one more thing here, man, before we let you go, because, we are a What Would You Do show. And I wanted to go ahead and tie in kind of like a musical question. You kind of pinged on it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because, this is kind of the world that we're in right now.
Right.
So to kind of just wrap it up here, man, you know what I'm saying, for this episode, we're talking about AI, right? Right. Okay. And so, I know there's, I have some friends, that are using AI in their music.
KF is tearing it up.
Right. You know what I mean?
Wanting to teach me.
And, just recently, I don't know if you've seen this, right? So there is an artist that, like, completely AI artist that is, like, cracked, like, the Billboard, like, top 100 or top 200, something to that effect.
Timberland's artist or somebody else's?
No, it's not Timberland's artist. So that's another thing, too, because Timberland's got, his AI artist. But they had her, I can't remember what her name is, but, Gayle King was actually talking to her. They actually had her on there. Mm-hmm. And, it was, a black woman, I guess she can write songs, but she really can't sing. But she used Suno.
Yeah.
Right, Suno program, and she was able to craft and create songs, fully fleshed out songs. Mm-hmm. And, she's actually now charting. Like, stuff is so good right there. Right. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy because she herself can't sing. right?
Yeah.
So, but she's able to go ahead and just with her own poetry craft music, man, that people actually, getting into and buying, you know what I mean? And so I say all that, man, to say this, because it's kind of like a what would you do type of show. You know what I mean? Is there any, because you're a classic producer, right? Is there any, instance in where you would use AI in your music process?
Well, I haven't used it yet. I don't know how to use it. If I were to use it, I believe I would just use it as a tool. I don't think I would completely. Because what Suno is, they're just fed things into an algorithm. All these rappers, everybody was selling their catalogs. Those catalogs were being fed into an algorithm based by the labels or the people that bought the catalogs. So the labels are on board with Suno because you don't have to pay an artist if it's artificial. You know what I'm saying? So now that that a lot of the like the BMIs, the ASCAP, CSACs, and these people, they are making it so you can monetize things that are created with AI. So before, the labels weren't taking things that were AI because you couldn't monetize it, I guess, because it's. But now that they're doing that, where you can, to me, like I say, there just has to be some human content for me to even consider using it as a tool, because I've had to learn everything about creating music from starting with 4-track cassette, going from that to ADATs, and going on 2-inch tape, then ADAT, and then from ADAT to the hard disk, the little workstation, the 1888, where the workstation was the hard disk recording, and then from that to actually making music on a computer, laptop. So I've had to evolve through all of that. So I'm not scared of evolution or next step and next level, learn or you get left type. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not against AI and learning some of the things of it, how to use it as a tool, because I would not totally rely on it, because it just copies. It just copies things. Right. So like I seen where some dude put a voice in there, and he said, and it was just a regular voice, and he asked Suno to, I guess, give it a Beyonce vibe, and it was crazy how similar that was to Beyonce, her vocal tone. So that's because the algorithms have been fed Beyonce music.
And it's not supposed to do that, but people are doing it all the time. And it's like, like during the, the Drake and Kendrick battle, there was a lot of AI songs, and a lot of songs that were made to either sound like Drake or sound like Kendrick, you know what I mean? And I can definitely see using it as a tool. As a tool, maybe. Because like maybe now you don't have to pay, like a singer. Yeah, a demo singer, right? You can just have it all there. And now you can just go directly to the artist, but then, you got people that are just pretty much just cutting everybody out. Yeah. So now rappers don't have to go to the producer. Like they can just, hey, give me a beat and here it is.
And that's the argument that AI is an eventual replacement. You feel me? That's why it's like you gotta tread light with that, to me, because it could possibly be an eventual replacement. Yeah. Like eventually they're gonna replace the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Working on that. I mean, you feel me though? So it's like
digital currency and all that. Yeah.
So it's like it's an eventual replacement. So I would use it sparingly. Like I need a female vocal on this, but I don't have a problem with getting females to come and demo records because they all want to come anyway and work. It's like whether it's like okay, well,
but then you have to pay them too, though, right?
Not really. Like, I do that. If I sing that for you, can I just get in the studio for 2 hours and do my thing?
Yeah, I got you.
The old way of doing it, bartering is still there, but it's like, and then you got the other ones that come in, ooh, I love, and then they want to take off and try you that way. No, little mama.
You don't like that?
No, you know what I'm saying? Keep them going. Put them back on now. Put them shoes back on.
You said you get it the fun way.
Come in showing the little panties way up here on their side of their panties on their neck type. The thong from the back. You feel me? So no, I ain't never got out like that. But It's like, you know, you could still get work done with just helping people. Okay, well, you sing this demo for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll record you, or I'll do a track for you. Even though my tracks are expensive, but it's worth it to get this song done because I'm trying to send this to Kelly Rowland, or I'm trying to send this to, you know what I'm saying? It means something. So.
Right. Yeah. So just as a tool, you know what I'm saying? That's like maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, maybe a reference track or something like that, man. But never just to like, you know,
make me a beat that sound like the meat, you know what I'm saying? Nah.
I mean, because literally when they interviewed that woman that we was talking about earlier, that charted, you know, so pretty much that's what she said. She put her lyrics in the Suno, and then she typed in a prompt. It's like, okay, I need a beat that sounds like this, or a track that sounds like that. Yeah. And it's almost kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like roulette, you know, not roulette, but, you know, like the slot machines. And when I was on that cruise, I lost $35. And
Lord, $35.
$35.
Save the world.
But you're literally just pulling it down until you find something that sounds like that, man. So I just worry about producers that make music now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's really cutting it out. Rappers that used to complain that producers are, you know, charging so much for beats. Yeah. And not realizing the amount of time it goes into making a song, you know what I mean? Making it good, you know, just like,
I charge people. I overcharge a lot of times just to see who's serious because I don't have time, you know, to keep, you know, this like, you know, and plus I have to get my money up front because, you know, Andrew Young, you heard of him? I've done 2 or 3 records with him. He's, he has a really big white audience here. He's got a deal with Sony. It's a distribution deal. 2 records I've done with him have been Grammy nominated, and he's from here. You know what I mean? But I have to do like pop, but still put that bounce in it because I'm who I am. And, you know, I have to charge what I need up front because even with him streaming these songs over 200 and some thousand, I'm not going to get no back end like that because that stream, like I said, now digital radio, they pay, radio still pays. But that stream, even these motherfuckers figured out how to split a penny into a third. Now they went up to a penny per stream, and that still ain't no money. So it's like, I'm going to get my money up front because I don't know if you will ever...
A penny per stream? That's new,
bullshit. That's still... Because I still don't know if you're going to stream enough for me. If you stream 1 million, that's only going to bring, what, 14,000? And if you wrote that song with 3 other people, y'all splitting 14,000 if you fair and want to treat people right. You know what I'm saying? So I get my money up front because... I don't know what you're going to do. You put it out and you might stream 2,000.
I remember Master P was talking about, it's like, that's why he stopped making music because of streaming, you know what I'm saying?
It's not working that way. But when you do music for money, that's where your dilemma is. Yeah. You feel me? So it's scary.
Man. Hey, man, I want to go ahead, man, clap it up one more time here, man, for super producer Billy Bad, man.
Hey, Naptown.
Thank you for coming in the studio.
For sure, man.
Tell our audience where we can find you, where we can follow you at, man, where we'll be able to get updates on your music, man, everything, man.
I don't leak a lot of music online because I don't like to give away the color till it's ready, but you know, I'm on Instagram at BillyBad317 and Facebook at Billy Ward. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could check me out there, and thank you guys for having you and Boss Lady for having me here.
Thank you.
Wait, so let me get this straight. You got no TikTok?
I don't play. I got one. Hey. I'll show you. I got a TikTok.
You gotta get it together.
Let me show y'all. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Don't clap for this like that now. I'm going to show y'all.
About it. Hey,
I'm going to show y'all.
I got a TikTok, but I don't really with it like that.
Man, no problem. I'm trying to get this
man
on.
Look,
you know what?
They go, what that?
What's that? He's got one,
What's that?
Like he's got one. I see it.
A million plays on TikTok give you $500. It's not worth it.
Okay, but
I guess it is.
Preach.
I guess it is.
Preach.
How much does Instagram give you?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Hey, so man, when we get to that level, I'll let you know.
Yeah. He's going to always pay more with TikTok.
Chinese government. At least U.S. stuff.
Are we?
And then we're in trouble because Israel's trying to purchase TikTok.
To me, it don't make a. What I'm saying is, you can get people to see what you're doing on TikTok
agree.
a lot faster than you can Instagram.
I agree.
Is,
You gotta prove that to me.
They locked.
She right though.
Locked.
She right.
I'm right.
My kids is on that. My kids is on it. My stepson, he's really on it a lot. He's constantly posting content, but it's like, you know, the nigga's first check was $17.
Okay, but what do you? Okay, so how many followers do you have? How often do you put? Because I'm serious. Like, I've never got $1, and I was on that bad boy. How much now? I put.
But it does expose you. You right.
You gonna have this man here all day trying to defend TikTok.
No, but what I'm getting at is you come up faster
exposure.
on TikTok, because I've gotten way more followers on TikTok, way shorter than I did on Instagram. Period.
I need to do that. I need to tap into that.
You're gonna have to help out the page then. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, let me have it. Put me on. Go put me on.
I need to. I do need to tap in.
Nothing else, just try it out. Give it 6 months.
Yeah,
if you hate it, you hate it. But this loser right here playing with me, you put down TikTok and you know good and well.
Hey, if I'm a loser, we're losing together, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about this. We're on our podcast.
Okay, but I'm just saying, don't put it on TikTok.
So I do have TikTok, and I guess I need to tap into it a little bit more. I'm just so busy. I hardly ever post on Facebook.
That's true.
People are like, man, you don't post enough.
You are right.
I'm just busy.
You're busy, man. You doing what you need to do.
You are right. But I tell you what, you can get somebody to post for you for a little bit of nothing. Get one of these youngsters. You got some nieces and some little cousins. Yeah. They'll probably do that for, studio time. I don't know.
Look into that.
Well, Boss Lady, let people know where on TikTok they can find you at.
Y'all can find me on Madam.BossLady on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right. And yes, I am the one, Starship West.
The one.
All right. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on X, and yes, on TikTok at Starship West. Also, follow the Wolves of Naptown podcast on YouTube, man. That's where you're going to see this exclusive interview with the super producer, Billy Bad. Hey, man.
Yeah, come through.
Man, follow us on YouTube. Also, the Wolves of Naptown podcast on IG, on Facebook, and yes, on TikTok.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Billy Bad Ward on TikTok.
That's good.
One word, Billy Bad Ward. Billy, capital B in Bad, capital W in Ward.
There you go.
Need to tap into that.
There you go, man. Right. Tap in, man. Follow everybody, man, but especially follow Billy Bad.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, man. For Billy Bad and for the Boss Lady, I'm Starship West and the Wolves of Naptown audience. We're going to go ahead and we're going to see you later. And how much you love that.